Welcome back to the Power Breakfast Show live on Citizen TV. My name is Wahiga Mwaura. And between the 12th to the 16th of this month, which is basically from tomorrow, Kenyans will get the chance to temporarily forget about politics. Or at least take a break, because the World Under-18 Championships are coming to Kenya for the first time, and this is the last time that they are taking place. Now, to help me talk a bit about them, I'm joined in studio today by the the CEO of the local organizing committee of the World Under-18 Championships, Mr. Mwangi Muthe. Welcome to the program, sir. Thank you so much for making time with us. You have been on the phone since you got here. I know there's a lot that you're trying to organize, but briefly tell us, are we set for the start of the championship tomorrow?
Wahiga, thank you very much. And before I say anything, I would like to pay tribute to the late CS Joseph Kaiseri, who was the chairman of our steering committee, co-chair with Dr. Hassan Wario, and his impact at the preparations was tremendous, and would like to pray to the Almighty that his soul rests in peace. Well, we are ready. I can say that. We are ready.
We are ready?
Yes.
Okay.
We are ready.
Give us an idea of some of the numbers around this year's championship. How many athletes are expected or have arrived from how many nations? Paint for us that picture.
You know, Wahiga, first of all, let me say that I hope Kenyans understand what has come to Nairobi, what has come home. This is a World Cup, and it's up there with the best of the championships that we can ever host. Actually, this is our Olympics, and when you host the world, when you hear you're hosting 130 countries, it's no mean feat. And we have got 130 countries already in the country. We have full house. 130
countries out of how many? How many were you expecting?
We were expecting around the first championship, which was held in Bidgosh 10 years ago. It was more or less the same number. And last year, the last event, which was 2015, that was held in Kari, it was almost the same number, but what is special about the Nairobi Championships is that we have a huge number of athletes coming to Nairobi. Yes, we have a huge number of athletes coming to Nairobi. We have close to 1,800 athletes who are going to be in Nairobi.
Great. The championship kicks off tomorrow. Briefly summarize for us the program from tomorrow up until Sunday. In a snapshot, what can Kenyans expect?
Oh, the event is day night, but the event we are doing it in two sections. There's the morning section, and then there's the afternoon section. And the morning section starts around 9:30 up to around 1 o'clock. Then we have a lunch break. The Kenyans who will be in attendance, we have catered for them. The public, we have a village for the public where they go and enjoy their meals, and then come back to the stadium. There is entertainment. All the major artists in Kenya, we are working with them. And the village, it's more or less a cultural village where everything is there. And in the stadium, when action starts, we'd like people to concentrate on the action, because it's just out of this world. If I can put it, the operation that has happened at Kasarani is unprecedented. And when you look at the technical staff who are working there, it's like a factory. It's like a huge engineering operation, and it's very exciting to just see those things happening. But it's because the championship must be beamed live to more than 200 countries.
You have actually carried out a lot of renovations at Kasarani. We do have some of those pictures on the screen right now that were taken by a drone just looking over, and you can actually just take a look at what we're showing right now. What exactly have you done at Kasarani that would cost almost 2.5 billion Kenya shillings? Because those are some of the numbers that we are being given. Now give us an idea of what sort of renovations, or basically where you've pumped the money that had been allocated to this particular project.
You know, if you cannot understand unless you go there practically.
No, paint us a picture. Not everyone will be able to go there.
Kasarani was basically in a desolate state of disrepair. I think since the Chinese left Kasarani in 1986, not much has happened. When we went in there, actually, what we have done, Wahiga, if we were not able, when I joined the committee mid last year, the first decision we made as a committee is, if you're not able to do what you have done at Kasarani, there was no need of hosting the championship, because Kenya, we are going to end up looking bad. And you know, when you do something, you should always put your best foot forward. And when you're hosting a world championship, it doesn't always, countries don't always get that opportunity. And if you want to look at it, you see some countries even bribe to be able to be given opportunities to host such championships. And you can see how the stakes are very, very high. And this is an opportunity for Kenya to tell our story. And it's also an opportunity for Kenyans to stamp our authority, not just as athletic champions or world beaters or heroes in the sports, because it's not just athletics, but also on organizations. Because if you don't organize properly, take that phone away.
Let me put this phone away.
if you don't organize properly, you can never have a claim of even hosting huge events in the future.
Let me play the role of the devil's advocate here.
Yes.
Some critics of the event have asked why that money could not have been used on a new stadium, for example. Are you able to give the rationale behind renovating Kasarani when we know that there have been promises for new stadiums for the last 5 years?
I want to tell you, and I want to pay tribute to our former president, Daniel Arap Moi, who came up with the idea of building Kasarani. Wahiga, I can tell you, without batting an eye, if you're going to put up a structure like Kasarani today, I don't know who is going to pay for it. I don't know who is going to pay for it.
The costs are far beyond.
The cost will be astronomical. Renovating Kasarani, you know, even you, when you renovate your house, you know, the most difficult work is to renovate, because you quantify this. After you have done, you realize you should also have done that. You know, Kenyans, we are good critics, especially armchair critics, who just sit and criticize. But if you give them work to do, it will never happen. Me, I'm very proud of one thing. Kenyans will be very, very proud of hosting a world-class championship starting tomorrow. And I can say that on a straight face, because so many people have done so much work here. Interministerial participation, that intervention, which with more than seven ministries, with the support under the guidance of His Excellency himself, and the First Lady, coming to do inspections impromptu. Then the local organizing committee, working around the clock. We have been leaving that. I left that venue at 1 in the morning. And
this morning. Okay.
And if you imagine the amount of work that has been put in, let me tell you, that budget you're talking about is actually nothing. And considering the value the government is going to leap from it, and the Kenyans as a country, what you're going to leap from that participation, being seen, doing the right thing.
Are you able to give us numbers of how much Kenya can expect to reap from such an investment?
Oh, you want me to give a
briefly?
Briefly?
Yes.
It's the tune of billions of dollars. In feasibility.
That we shall make over the next 5 years.
You are in television. How much do you charge to advertise for 3 seconds? How much? Prime time, tell me how much.
I'm not at liberty to discuss that on air.
Okay, Wahiga.
But I see your point.
Thank you very much.
But for Kenyans at home watching, how for them will they benefit? I mean, just for the nation in totality, do you have a figure of what is projected in terms of income over the next 5 days?
Our theme is Magical Kenya. You'll see it when you come there tomorrow. magicalkenya.com. We dedicated the resources that we have sent to try and elevate something Kenyan, something that will touch every Kenyan. We targeted tourism. Our tourism has been on a roll for a long, long time. If this championship helps Kenya tourism to step up 1%, we have done our job. But that is the reason why all over the place you'll be seeing magicalkenya.com, magicalkenya.com, Because once you log in, you know what you're talking about. Everything Kenya will be there, written in black and white. But what there is that when you're given an opportunity like this, milk it. As a country, this is our time to milk this opportunity. We are going to be live across the globe for 6 days, starting today. We're on the spot, right? We're on the spot. Today, tomorrow, up to Sunday. And it's up on Kenyans to take advantage of that. If we sleep on the job, if you drop the ball, too bad. As the local race committee, we have done our part. You've done your part. Paint us a picture of what the opening ceremony will look like, because I know for many tomorrow that's what they'll be looking for. The opening ceremony. We've seen how they do it at the Olympics, at the World Cup. Give us, a glimpse of what Kenya will put out come out tomorrow. In a nutshell, opening ceremony, very brief, 45 minutes. That is 45 minutes of showcasing who we are as Kenyans. We want to showcase our country. That resource you've talked about, the resource that have been used to host this championship, that resource, that picture that we portray, this is an opportunity for Kenya to tell our story. All the time, television, you watch CNN, you watch Al Jazeera, they always tell what they want to. They have their home audience. Yes, exactly. Yes, they have their story. This is now an opportunity for us Kenyans to tell our story. If you look at athletics, and if you look at sports in general, we have a beautiful story to tell. We have an opportunity to tell that to the whole world. They know who we are and why we participate. We are champions. Tomorrow you'll see in parade all the legends who have put Kenya athletics where we are. From Nyantika Mayoro, they will be there on display, because those are the people who have made athletics in Kenya. It's not Mwangi Muthee. It's not General Jackson Tuwei. It is those people who started the struggle, where athletics or sports had its owners, but we have put our claim and they have put us in that pedestal. It is also time to thank them. I think for me, it's not in doubt that come tomorrow the world will be watching Kenya. My question is, with 27 days to the elections, do you feel that the election mood has affected the color that would have been the World Under-18 Championships, bearing in mind so much, when you look at the papers, when you look at the headlines, elections is the big story. Do you feel that has taken away a bit of the thunder from this event? Wahiga, this event was God-sent, because at least it's giving Kenyans an alternative thought. And when Kenyans now are focusing, this week at least, they're not just focused on politics. They have got an alternative focus. And that's very, very important for body and soul. And for Kenyans, we Kenyans, we are all athletes. And we love sports. And there is not one, there's nothing that brings Kenya together more than sports. When Kenya 7th team is winning, everybody is, hey, Kenya, 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 Kenya. When Vivian Cheriot is winning the gold, when you are celebrating, do you ask yourself whether you are Kikuyu or you are Ruo or you are Karenji? No, you don't talk about your Kenyans, and they fly the flag and we are proud. So this is a week for Kenyans to be proud of themselves. This is a week for Kenya to realize that even when you are punching each other out there in politics, we also have another life, because it is our country and we are one people and we must be united. Because where else can we go? Hapa tu ndio kwetu. Is there a legacy plan after these games? We've seen what happened with the facilities in Rio de Janeiro. Right now they are in complete disrepair. We've seen what happened in previous championships just around the world as well. What's the plan from the local organizing committee after Sunday to ensure that those facilities are maintained and used properly? Number one of the legacy programs we are the IAAF Council for Responsible Sports is helping us come up with programs that will be remembered many years after the championship. So we have planted over 100,000 trees, indigenous trees, and IAAF Council for Responsible Sports, with the late Professor Wangari Maathai Foundation, the Green Belt Movement, we have come together with the LOC and we have planted trees across the country. Everyone who has planted a tree gets a free ticket, free entry to the stadium. Now, all the infrastructure upgrade that we have done, if you ask me my wish list, I would love the village at Kenyatta University to be at least preserved.
Okay.
The students should also use it, but I would like to see it preserved. This town, it's very, very difficult to even raise something like 2,000 beds, a conference beds, or sporting enterprise
at the
beds
same
at
place.
the same place. And Wahiga, the highlights of this championship is Kenyatta University. I wish you have time to just go there. You get accreditation and go there and see those guys. The athletes would never forget Kenya. I'm telling you.
Okay.
And the work that has been put in there by Kenyatta University under the leadership of Professor Paul Wainaina, the local organizing committee, with the support of the Kenya government, it's tremendous. And when you hear me telling you it's tremendous, me, I don't mince words. I speak it as it is, and I'll tell you, good work has been put there.
Since you say you don't mince words, you stated clearly here that last year, if you and the local organizing committee had not taken some decisive steps, we would not be hosting this championship right now. Are there things you wish were done better? Let's be honest, there have been some challenges. We know that several countries are not going to be coming: Britain, USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. We know that the local organizing committee at some point changed because of various issues here and there. What could have been done differently, Mr. Muthe? When you look back, now that the day is here and nothing else can be done, what could have been done differently?
Well, when I look back, Wahiga, I wish what I think we should have done better is if we started what we started doing in March this year.
Yes.
If we started in March area. And that's not a Kenyan phenomena. It's a it's a global phenomena, because even in Rio here, I was in Brazil. I was in Brazil, and even the last minute they were still painting, they were still hammering here and there. So,
but why did we not learn? We should have learned from Rio. We saw them doing last minute renovations. We should have started then.
When was Rio? In August. You're talking about August. So we have done well. We have done well. We could have done better if we started much earlier, but all in all, we have done fantastic. I can give the LOC, as far as the organization is concerned, I can give them 90%. We are not going to be perfect, but we are going to host a wonderful, wonderful world-class championships. And I'll tell you here, Kenyans are going to be very, very proud indeed, and they deserve that.
Has the IAAF told you why this is the last edition? And I'm sure that's something big, bearing in mind the last edition will be in Kenya.
Yeah, that's a huge debate. It's still being debated, and many countries still feel
that it should
carry on, and but that's upon the IAAF and the membership, and I'm sure it's the enterprise. They know what they want, and they know why they made such decisions, and let's leave that with them. But I hope they would retain it, because this age group is the best age group. And I'll tell you, Wahiga, when you see them, you know, first of all, they think Kenyatta University is one continuous degree. They're really enjoying themselves. The air there, and jogging all over the place and making friendships. You know, the camaraderie.
What has been the assessment? In fact, on that same note, their top leadership is in Kenya. Sebastian Coe is in Kenya. What has been his words to you, even as he landed? What has been their feeling about Kenya's preparation for the championship?
IAAF is happy. It's happy.
You're not just saying that.
Actually, I'll use
because
the same words.
TV.
I will use the same words General Kaiseri used to use every now and then. He used to tell me, Muthe, we must deliver this championship beyond everybody's expectations. Actually, to IAAF, we are delivering this championship beyond their expectations, and Kenyans should be very, very proud of themselves, very, very proud indeed. And this championship will give us opportunities to host bigger events in the future. If you want a Diamond League, if you want a university global university championships, if you want a world championship, even the Commonwealth, this is a foundation.
Okay.
And this is a benchmark.
Before you tell members of the public, you know, times for the championship and where they can get their tickets, you saw what happened in Rio last year with Team Kenya. You know that there were allegations of misappropriation of funds, missing kit. In fact, cases that I believe are still in court right now. Can you assure Kenyans that when it comes to this championship, we are not going to hear stories later? you know, tenders and contracts and all manner of things. What's your promise to Kenyans, Mr. Muthe?
Wahiga, and I tell you,
yes,
without batting an eye, looking at you straight, we are not perfect, and nobody is perfect in this world. But I'll tell you, Wahiga, I'll tell you, and I repeat, we have done the best we could. Of course, you'll hear people saying this, that. You will never stop that.
That some things are not done above board.
You will never. Those will always be there. Anywhere in the world, even in your home, you'll hear your child telling you.
I haven't had anything yet in my... No, I mean, that's beside the point.
Yes.
I'll allow you to finish your statement.
Okay, so what I was trying to say is that we have done our best, and if anything wrong has happened, I take responsibility.
You take responsibility.
I take responsibility. I take personal responsibility, and that's why I fought from the beginning. That is why even when we were talking about the tartan track, I knew I was taken to court, and I did that because I knew if I never took the steps that I took, there was not going to be a championship. And I repeat, there was not going to be a championship. And I knew where the nuts and the bolts are, and when you're given responsibility, you have to take it. But all in all, we have done what we have done.
What steps did you take to ensure that everything is done above board? Give us an idea, because I'm sure that's one of the tasks you are charged with.
You know, I'll tell you one thing, Wahila. I've gotten an opportunity to work with the government, to work deeply, getting involved in the government, and I want to tell you, I wish people can get that dissection. The public can get that dissection so that they can see how the government works. The government is a very, very complex machinery, and I've come to realize that. And inside there are some people who work very, very hard. And the procedures of, even if you're talking about procurement, and deliverables of those services, everything is there in black and white. All you need to do is to follow those procedures, and you're home and dry. Number two, this event doesn't belong to the government of Kenya. Government of Kenya is a host institution. It doesn't belong to AK, Athletics Kenya. Athletics Kenya is the organizing member. It doesn't belong to the city of Nairobi. The city of Nairobi is just the host city. It belongs to IAAF.
IAAF.
And they give you a template of how everything must be done. You have seen delegates coming from IAAF, from Monaco, almost every month.
That's true.
And they come and scrutinize everything that you are doing. Sometimes they're even telling us, no, don't have to spend so much for ABCD. But we also have an image to portray. And we could not spare resources because we want our image to be in a certain way. Because this is a window for Kenya. It's a window for Kenya. And you know, Kenyans, we beat ourselves, but we're also perfectionists. And sometimes when Kenyans mean business, Kenyans are top world class. You don't know, let me tell you, when Kenyans mean business, they can be better than Americans by far, or even the British or even the Germans. It's only that sometimes we don't want to do it. But when Kenyans want to do something and they want to do it to perfection, let me tell you, they don't need to be pushed. They will do it. And I've seen it in action.
Okay.
I've seen it in action.
For those who want to come and watch, what time should they be at Kasarani tomorrow? What time is the opening ceremony? Let's start there.
The opening ceremony is in the afternoon.
Okay.
The start of the afternoon session around 3:30.
All right.
But Kenyans should come early. By 8 o'clock, the tickets will be there at the perimeter of the
so you can buy tickets at the entrance. You can buy tickets
at the perimeter at the entrance. You get screened and then you go in.
But we are digital also. Can they get them
online? Yes, you can get them online. Yes.
You can get where? Which website?
IAAF.
Okay.
World at 18.
Okay.
Nairobi Championships.
Okay. And are there any other stores in town somewhere else where?
No.
Okay.
No. Most of them we just sell
at Kasarani.
And online.
And online as
well. Even online, when you buy, you pick a ticket at Kasarani.
Okay. And for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, if you want to watch, you should be in the stadium by 8.
You should be in the stadium by 8. Be there early. Actually, for those guys who don't like queues, they should be there early, before 6.
Okay.
So that we fill the stadium. And it's a huge party.
Do you think you're going to fill the stadium?
Oh, yes.
We have seen pictures on international media of other championships where the stadiums were half full, quarter full. Not a nice picture.
This is Kenya.
This is Kenya.
This is Kenya. And Kenya will have sports. and we love our champions. And this is the only time to see those champions live, those future champions live, and our legends live. So we must make sure that we are there. And there's a lot of interest that we are the jibes, the vibes you're getting from across the country.
Yes,
very, very good. And the Kenyans want to come and support the team. They want to come and support the team, and they want to come and see those youngsters. So they don't look like youngsters. They are the same, but they look like they are big.
The athletes that Kenya. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know you have a busy day. You need to take Sebastian Coe around Nairobi,
yes,
various functions. I think he's also meeting the president later on.
Yeah.
Of course, you get more updates about that in our subsequent bulletins. Well, that's how we wrap up the Power Breakfast Show for today. Thank you so much for sparing time to be here with us on Citizen TV. And there you go. World Under-18 Championships kicks off tomorrow in the afternoon with the opening ceremony, and then sessions on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And it ends on Sunday, I believe. That's right. So if try and catch it at the stadium, and if not, I believe you can catch it on some TV channels as well, especially over the next couple of days. Well, we wrap up the show for today, but Citizen Extra is up in just a bit. Lillian Moon will be bringing that to you. But on behalf of the whole team that makes the Power Breakfast Show possible, we say goodbye, and we'll see you again tomorrow.